My name's Ann Massey. I'm the Ireland editor for Spooky Isles, and today I am joined by Brigid Goody of Ghost Gals, based in Gettysburg, in America. Hi, Bridget. How are you doing today?
Hello, Anne, and I want to say dia huit to all my Irish brothers and sisters out there. Hello, everybody. Hey, guys.
It's great to have you with us today, and you do not look locked down with that background.
No, I mean I figured I'd speak with you today from outside. I'm on the mountain just west of Gettysburg, not too far from the Battle of Gettysburg. And it's a beautiful day here. First beautiful day we've had in a long time.
Well, it's very different from where you started out in Long Island,
Yes.
and that's where you started off as a paranormal investigator. Now, you are currently known for your work on Ghost Gals and as a very sought after historian and researcher for haunted locations by production companies, and have worked on series such as Ghost Nation and been on Ghost Nation. Um, but not putting an age on you or anything, it goes back decades with the experience. It started in Long Island. So tell us a little bit more about how you started out in the world of the paranormal.
Well, basically, I was honestly about 14 years old. I was with my friend Laura. I borrowed my brother's boombox, and we had gone into this abandoned house that was down the street from us on Lakeside Drive in Centerport, Long Island. And it was there for many, many years. And we had seen a shadow figure in there. So I was thinking, oh, let's record it. Because back then you used to use tape cassettes to record everything off the radio. So I had thought, and back then nobody knew what an EVP was. There was nobody on TV that really, Ed and Lorraine were around, Warren, but they really weren't, it wasn't really that avid on TV. So, I just thought, well, let's record the noises that we're hearing at this location. So we went in, I brought the boot box, and believe it or not, I cannot remember what the EVP said. It was a whisper or something, but at age 14, I got my very first EVP on a cassette, a big boom box, but on a cassette. So, um, that's where it all started. I was a solo investigator for many years. I started the paranormal investigators back on Long Island. Subsequently, in 2010, I moved to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania with my family. And then I also documented another famous case that we did, America's Most Haunted Home, documented that for about 8 years. And then, since then, we've written several books, appeared on very many shows in media all around the world. And I currently do a lot of work with Ghost Nation and Jay, Steve, Dave, and Sherry, all very good friends of ours. We've known them for 20 plus years. And I love working with them. And I love the production crew and working with everybody. It's terrific. And, I love what I do. I love going to haunted locations and building a story and finding out about what's going on and what the background is about a location. And to me, there's nothing more exciting than doing.
That's Jason. Actually, we've spoken to and had on Spooky Hours before. Jason Hawes. To anyone that isn't familiar, formerly of Ghost Hunters, now Ghost Nation, and founder of TAPS. And he's obviously very drawn to Ireland and the history that we have, which is probably why he's drawn to you as well, Bridget, with your cheeky Irishness within you, because you're from Limerick, here in Limerick.
Yep.
You're from the
Yep.
same area. But what drew you to Gettysburg in particular?
Honestly, the fact that it truly is in the United States, hands down, it is one of the most haunted locations. And the reason I believe that is because of the amount of, honestly, the amount of death and uh, tragedy that occurred here. And some of that has to leave an imprint on the environment in some way, shape, or form. And it's when you come to Gettysburg, it's not if a place is haunted, everywhere here, in every building of the town, everybody I've spoken to, and we've literally investigated almost every establishment or building in the borough of Gettysburg, just about everyone. And you there are hauntings everywhere. Even on the ground where the battle took place, and there's actually battlefield east of town, which is where the cavalry part of the battle took place.
Oh,
That is extremely haunted, and a lot of tourists don't visit there, and a lot of people don't even know that that exists. That's another very haunted, active location. And so I just believe it's from the battle. Even if you go down to Antietam, such as the episode we did on Ghost Nation, Ghosts in the Battlefield, it's in between Gettysburg and Antietam. So you go down to Antietam, it's the same thing. Even the battleground, the town around it, all the places that were used as field hospitals, there is all activity. And believe me, I am not easy on evidence. I am not everything's paranormal. I'm a debunker. Um, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe that everything is paranormal. You really have to prove to me beyond a reasonable doubt that something is paranormal, because I just don't believe that everything is. But over the years, we have amassed some pretty amazing evidence of apparitions, of voices, of just unexplainable thermal imaging, things that cannot be explained by science. So, I very much believe in looking to all these things with a scientific background. I was a laboratory tech for almost 30 years. So,
yeah,
of course, I have a very deep science background. So, I'm not a pushover for, oh, that's a piece, oh, look at this orb, it's a ghost. No, it's a piece of dust. And I'm just a stickler for that. So I think that's why I get along with everybody who goes station so well, because they basically believe along the same lines that I do.
yeah. I mean, I think that's what I like most about Ghost Nation today is the fact that it's first and foremost about debunking and reassurance.
Yep.
Because for anyone that hasn't seen it, go and find it. And the second season's actually airing now in the US and will come to Britain and Ireland shortly. It's they're private cases. These are people that are genuinely scared in their homes, which in respect to my own team, it's the fundamental part of paranormal investigating, isn't it? It's all very well going off and doing these enjoyable historic locations, but at the end of the day, we're here to kind of reassure people about the things that go bump in the night. How do you find that Gettysburg compares to, say, Long Island with those kind of cases?
Definitely, I would say when you think about the places that are tend to be the most haunted in the United States, for me, in my experience, as far as just location wise, it tends to be the areas that were originally founded in this country, when immigration to the Americas was taking place. It also tends to be places of tragedies, deaths, um, things of that nature. But primarily, older locations. For the most part, what I find older and historical, significant.
Yeah, and that's the thing I noticed actually is the age of some of these places that you wouldn't think of. And these people are buying them as dream homes, and they're ending up having the fear of God put in them
Yeah,
because they can't understand what's going on. But
yeah,
like you said, you have this scientific background to you, and you'd be same as the likes of Jason in first in to have a look and go, well, there's high MF, let's check the electricity and that sort of thing.
yeah.
But that's on the good side. You've come across some dark stuff in your time, haven't you? Have you got any examples?
Yes, we had actually done a case and we wrote about it in our book series, and that uh, we had done a case. We had, and we never promised. We do cleansings for homes. We do offer that. One of the girls in our group, Jenny, she does them, And again, you never promise anything, but it goes back to an old Native American ritual. Burning certain types of sage, not all sage, because some sage actually welcomes spirits. So you have to be careful with the method you use, how you do it,
Yeah.
because you can actually welcome spirits into the home by using certain types of sage. But um, so we try and sometimes that will quiet activity for people, and some people will ask for it. It's not a normal practice we do, mainly because again, there's really no science to it. There's no proof that it ultimately works. It can help write stuff down. We have found, but basically, we had helped cleanse the home, and unfortunately, 3 weeks after we had cleansed that home, I started waking up with scratches all about my neck,
Oh,
my
wow.
face, and it had gotten so bad to I woke up one night and I went to bed. It was April of 2013, and I'd gone to bed with sweatpants on, and I woke up in the morning with almost an inch wide scratch from my buttocks to my ankle, and it was all bloody, like
Oh,
something, almost like a claw, like something had pulled down my leg, and it was totally unexplainable. There's nothing in my bed that could do that to me, or I did not get out of bed. I don't sleepwalk, and so we called some friends that we were in contact with that had more of an expertise in that area for possible attachments, and and we cleansed my home thoroughly. We did things with frankincense, with myrrh, with with ginger root, just different things that are supposed to help cleanse a home. And
mm,
again, there's that power of the mind where you say, I don't want whatever is here to be here, and you don't have my permission. And we did that, and after we did that, nothing ever happened again. It seemed to be gone, but something like that changes you, and I don't take that lightly, and I don't joke about it. It's
yeah.
serious. It really happened. It really occurred. Thank God we were able to stave it off, to push it away, to get rid of it. But it is something that did occur. And again, at the time, all of my friends were witnesses to the scratches, the attacks on my face. My boys were in middle school at the time. They experienced it. They actually experienced activity to themselves in their own rooms at the time as well as my husband did. So this is multiple witnesses. This is not, oh, these people are crazy making up ghost stuff. This is,
Mm.
something that really happened. So these things can happen, but again, there the fact that it happened to me, that in itself is rare because it's like winning lotto. It's like a 1 in a million chance that can happen to somebody. It is not, you see it on a lot of shows that, oh, it's a demon and all these things happen. It's so rare that that happens. And I wouldn't believe it myself probably if someone was telling me, but I experienced it. My entire family and my friends did. So we have, like I said, we have all these people to back up these accounts, and the witnesses of the actual physical markings, and so it's just a very rare thing, but it can happen, but it's extremely, extremely rare, in all honesty.
Do you find that it's changed your approach, particularly with regards to private investigation, now that you've had that personal experience? Obviously, me knowing the person that you are and everything, you've always had that side to you, more the empath, if you like, which is possibly why it was drawn to you in the first place. But do you think that experience has changed the way you investigate and the way you approach people in private situations?
Yes and no. um, because in a person's home, whenever I'm doing somebody's private home in a case, I would never speak to. I would always be respectful. We're always respectful all the time, but even more so in somebody's private residence. You wouldn't want to stir anything up and aggravate, shall you say, what's going on in someone's home. Whereas when you're at maybe a location, you might. say you might say get a little bit more deeper into how it died, why it died, and be a little bit more confrontational in the manner of the way that that spirit might have died. You may not do that at someone's house only because you don't want to provoke it in any manner. But basically, no, it doesn't. It doesn't really change me. I'm always guarded. I do my own thing. I say my own prayers for myself whenever I go in anywhere, and that's that's the Irish Catholic in me. You know, but and that's just a self thing that I do. But no, if anything, it's made me more aware of certain things to look out for. Um, Personally, where people might actually be affected or be claiming that they're being attacked in any way, or and now I uh, the symptoms are just more easily recognizable, maybe in that fact.
Okay, well, obviously, in relation to the fact that when we're investigating this, we'll talk about more about the supernatural in general in a moment, but with regards to spirits and ghosts and everything, obviously in these houses, they're relating to real people that have passed on. They could be family members, and I know yourselves as a group, you lost a member of your own group, so you're very aware of how raw and how real this can be. Um, I think now's probably the best time to let us know a little bit more about Ghost Gals, the group. You spoke of the lovely Jenny earlier as well. So tell us a bit more about the makeup of Ghost Gals, how it came to being, how diverse and unique, and if you like, a forerunner of a team compared to a lot of others, and what you've gone through and where you are today.
Well, that was the thing. Like I said, I went from when I once I moved here, and then after being here a couple of years, I took the name and said came up with a bunch of different names on a yellow pad, and then at the end, I asked a couple of friends, which one do you think is the best here? And I gave them all the different choices, and came up with the name Ghost Gals or Gettysburg Ghost Gals. And from there, we had an all-female team, and we always had like a male member on the team, and I always wanted it to be diverse and inclusive because basically the way paranormal teams always kind of have been in the Americas at least was usually male-led, with mostly male members, maybe a couple of girls on a team here or there. There really weren't many female groups out there, or if there were, they were just female. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be what the makeup of the United States is. Who do we represent? We represent because I'm also Native American, so I'm French Canadian, Native American, Irish. So I wanted to encompass all of these things and say, okay, well, what are the makeups of the United States? We have African American, we have Spanish, Native American, we have a lot of the Jewish community here. We have the LGBTQ community here. Who I have a lot of friends within the LGBTQ community. Um, I wanted the group to be what this country truly represents. And in all honesty, well, hey, why not be run by a woman? So, um, so that's why we like to keep kind of like if you've ever watched Charlie's Angels, we
Yeah.
have Bosley of the group, and throughout the years, our Bosley has been Chris Griffith, who lived back on Long Island, but we moved from Long Island, and then Robert became one of my best friends, and sadly, God rest his soul, Robert passed from cancer on March 2nd of this year, which, as you know, been a really hard time for us and hard time for me personally because he was my best friend. And and so now in honor of Robert, now his partner Joe is taking over that honorary position. So basically, they may investigate like the guy to help in like Joe is may investigate sometimes help the group, but he oversees and helps us out and helps the girls out. But primarily, the group right now is Tracy Wilson. She is from Georgia, originally though from Westminster, Maryland. Um, We have our newest member, Lisa K. Banks, who joined back in November. She's from York, Pennsylvania. We have Jenny Thomas, everybody knows, pink hair Jenny. And then there is myself. And then we have Joseph Fontana, Robert's partner, who's now currently with the group. And we do a lot of different stuff. We always change it up. We have lots of amazing, wonderful ideas for different things. And like I said, besides that, on the back side of that, I work a lot of production. So, and that's what I do when I'm not doing Ghost Scout stuff. So, it's a lot of fun. We love helping people out. We love going to locations, and we don't consider ourselves ghost hunters. We're supernatural researchers because we do everything. We investigate all different kinds of evil, human, true, primeval, anything supernatural, anything crypto, you name it. If it's weird, we investigate it. So we're more so supernatural researchers and investigators.
That's cool. And that brings us nicely back round to the latest season of Ghost Nation.
Yes.
And I have to ask you, because you featured so heavily in the last season, do we see or hear anything of you in this season?
I cannot say yes, and I cannot say no. But we did episode 7 of season 1, which Ghost Nation. That was the first episode where they aired. We caught an apparition, and it was the
and
first
that was some apparition.
Yeah,
that was some apparition you caught there. And
that
nothing fancy, no fancy gadgets. It was a normal video, wasn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes it's the easiest things. That's why I say I love audio and video, because sometimes the basic things actually catch the most important things. And then of course I worked all of season 1, season 2 premiere episode, with the evidence and the background and everything of all of gotta say the cadaver dogs in episode 2. Wait till you guys see it over there across the pond.
Can't wait.
It's amazing. It's utterly amazing. The cadaver dogs. That's probably my favorite part of the entire episode. And Vicky, the cadaver dog woman, wonderful woman. We had a great time with that. So and again, they are the best crew. Like Jay, Steve, Dave, and Shari, which I can now say, yay, Shari, because we can't talk about it. We knew she was going to be on, but we couldn't talk about it. But congratulations against Shari. But again, I've been friends with them for years, and I love and adore them. But I mean, really, what a wonderful, amazing production company, casting crew. Just the best people to work with. I love working with them, and we'll continue to do so for as long as I can. So, it's you will have to wait and see.
I hate the fact we have to wait a bit longer over here, because I mean, I've been watching the repeats, like literally I've recorded them all and I've been watching them again. And for anyone that hasn't seen it, find Ghost Nation, look up Ghost Gals on Facebook, Instagram, catch up with them on their website. And we're going to be talking to you again down the line, Bridget. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us during lockdown from Ireland to Gettysburg. And the
I love you, my sister Ann. I adore you. Thank you so much for today. I adore you.
Thanks a million. Take care now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.